Hello and welcome to the first ever Bake and Beats. I'm your host, superbakeboy, and today we are trying a new recipe, Turkish Delight. So before we get started on all of this, I'll just let you know how it's going to work from here on out if you choose to come back for another session. Basically, we'll be looking at the hot pink flamingo book of recipes filled to the brim with snips, written cards, God knows what, from ancient history or from my mother's mother. Basically, we'll delve into that, looking at a couple of different recipes, and then we will be putting some music to match that. So, because it is a Turkish Delight Day, we'll be starting with some Turkish music. Down in the left-hand corner of your screen, you will be able to see what is currently playing. Do not ask me to pronounce that. You can also put into the chat how you would pronounce this song. So, we have a very long session today, considering this recipe needs about an hour to simmer, so we better get started and we can start chatting a bit later. So, got a dinner party, and that's why we're choosing Turkish Delight, and the recipe is courtesy of, I believe her name is Alana. Anyway, this was printed out a little while ago from taste.com. All recipes will be shared through our social media channels, Facebook and Twitter, and you'll have a couple of snaps here on out to have a look at how the food turned out. Now, as I said, this is the first time we're making this, so anything could happen in the kitchen. It could be a complete success, or it could be a terrible failure and the whole thing is on fire. So, we'll wait and see. So, step one, grab a tin. Spray with olive spray. Take your baking paper and line the tray, says the recipe, allowing the sides to overhang. Well, I don't know, this might not be big enough, but we'll see. I am terrible with baking paper, it just doesn't seem to sit. I guess that's why we've got olive spray, to use it like glue. Lovely bit of clag. Fold this. This is kind of like gift wrapping, which I'm also terrible at. Never ask me to gift wrap you a gift. There you go. Probably see it in there in our secondary camera. Not looking too flash, but hey, it's not about the presentation, it's about the taste. Shut your mouth, it's always about the taste. It is never about the presentation. Now that we've got that going, we need to do all the fun stuff, which is putting things in a saucepan. So, first up, grab ye sugar. Not sure about you, but I'm having trouble hearing this music, so we might just pump it up so we get those nice little Turkish things coming through. Here we go. Now, we're going to need, how much sugar? All the sugar! 4 cups worth of the sugar. Cups. You can see I am so prepared for this. Luckily, I live in a C-shaped kitchen and everything is easy to access. So, 4 cups of sugar. Measurement is boring, and I just find that you don't need to do it exactly, because being precise, ain't nobody got time for that. And add a sugar. Ow. I think we're going to need a bigger saucepan. This is a lot of sugar. Right, 4 cups of sugar. Can you hear the diabetes? Look at that. Like, we're over half full of sugar. I don't think I've ever seen this much sugar in a saucepan before. Alrighty, 500 mils of water. Now I find that liquids are one thing that you really do need to be precise with. So whilst it's fun not to measure your dry ingredients, water is very finicky. I mean, we'll probably have to add a bit more, let's be honest, but anyway. Ooh. Can you see the bubbles? Can you hear the bubbles? Low heat until the sugar dissolves or bubbles itself to death. Alright, so it's bubbling away like green lies beneath the surface. So we'll just have to stir that, increasing the medium heat. We also have to use, for this recipe, a sugar thermometer, or a candy thermometer, depending on which part of the world you go to. So it's just a long stick. Like any thermometer, it will read you the temperature. At the moment, I think it's reading my hand temperature. According to this, I'm dead, so that's not a good sign. Just stick that in there for now. Ooh, it's floating! That might fall in. That's a very strange pan to hold a syrup. So basically, we need to cook, no stirring, just pushing it down a little bit with a brush, it seems to say here. Personally, I find that a bit gross, some of these brushes, unless you've got a silicone one. Silicone ones are easy to wash, but your hair ones always look a little bit manky. So I tend not to use that. Otherwise, you can just use a egg white thing. I don't know what they're called. You can see that I'm actually a chef. I'm so qualified to be doing this right now. But hey, Twitch! Alrighty. Stirring until the sugar dissolves, and then adding our... Oh, Jesus, that is just ridiculous. So it's very... It is definitely a glucose syrup here. It's very thick. It's actually terrifying. It's huge, just clump of white, phrasing. So anyway, we just need to wait for this to dissolve, and then we'll, ooh, gross. Once it's dissolved, we'll be able to leave it for 25 minutes, just at a 125 degrees Celsius. Now, you have to be very precise with this recipe. If you overboil the sugar, you're going to get a toffee, and then we're going to have a toffee instead of Turkish Delight. It's one of those strange ones where precise temperatures as well as gelatin, which is never a precise science, have to be used. So gelatin is not my forte. I've made a couple of things with it and everyone has been a failure. Certain creams you can use gelatin to put together, it turns into this really weird sponge, which is gross, so I wouldn't advocate using gelatin with cream unless you know what you're doing. Another one was a gin and lime tart disaster. Maybe we can save that story for our little hour break where we're just watching things cook. All right. I'll bring this over to show you now. You can see that the sugar has dissolved and what we've got is just this gelatinous syrup. So we've got to leave that there now for 25 minutes just to continue steeping and no longer stirring. So we just want this all to boil away and continue being a gloppy mess. And from there, we can move on to our next step, which is more dry ingredients, lovely dry ingredients. Right, take that back to the heat and put in our thermometer. Light here. Right. What are we up temperature-wise? We are almost at 100 degrees. This thermometer is not sticking to the pan, which is really quite frustrating. What else we can use? A peg? This is supposed to be a peg. Delicate balance, delicate balance. It's probably going to fall off, but hey, what you gonna do? Alright. So we're just waiting for that to get to 125 degrees, but whilst we're waiting for that, get our other saucepan and start doing our other ingredients. Where's the tissue? There we go. Alright, so next up, gelatin, my favorite. 3 tablespoons worth of gelatin powder. Like, I've never used this much gelatin powder in my life. I'm lucky to use 3 teaspoons. So we got our tablespoon ready. Again, I don't actually use those measurable tablespoons because I just don't care enough. And then we've got our gelatin powder. So sorry for vegans out there, this one is not vegan friendly. There are, however, a couple of vegan friendly Turkish Delight recipes on the internet that you can find. Again, you kind of need to be master of other setting agents to be able to do it, but hey, I have perfect faith in all of you. Alright, so that's one whole thing gone. There wasn't actually that much left, so let's not freak out that there's too much gelatin powder there. And our next one, so much gelatin powder. It's 2 lots. And our 3rd tablespoon of gelatin powder. Alright, so 3 tablespoons later. Let's check on our other syrup. It smells like it's burning, dear God! But no, it's still at 100 degrees. Nope, we're at 125, so we can lower the heat now. Got this burning smell. Hopefully that's the bottom of the pan and not me already burning this. Cooking! Not an exact science. Well, it is, like, let's be honest, you can measure. I'm just kind of useless at it. But hey, it's part of the fun. Alright, so now we're going to brush down the sides occasionally, leaving for 25 minutes. So what's the time now? Cool, so 12:37, we'll be able to move on with that. Or until the sugar thermometer reaches 125 degrees. Seems reading is not my forte. I know this is not to stir, but really I think it needs a little bit of a helping hand sometimes. Let's have a look. Alright. It did say or 125 degrees, so by that or I equate that we must leave it now before it turns into a toffee mess. So off the heat it comes. It smells like fairy floss, delightful. Is that a quick rinse, just so that we can use it again? We'll put that to the side. Stir in lemon juice. Jesus, this recipe is ridiculous. It's not so much as steps as just mad person's writing. Right, so fresh lemons are always the way to go. You can pick up some lemon juice at your local supermarket, but personally I prefer that taste. Is this really a lemon though? It's orange. I mean, where did I get these from? I think I might have got these from someone's farm. Oh, well, this will be interesting nonetheless. Yeah, lemony enough. We'll call it a crossbreed. Oops. Yum. How much lemon juice do we need? 2 tablespoons. So as this music's going, I'm just seeing sort of dancing circles in my head. This is traditional Turkish music according to Spotify. I don't really know what's going on. It's interesting though. I feel like it's quite fitting for this segment. Alright. Ooh, just getting stuff all over the place. Oh, why not just finish it off? Why not? Can have a lemon vodka soda after this if the house is on fire. Ooh, this is upbeat, isn't it? So 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, adding now to our crazy syrup. 1, 2. Plenty left over for vodka. How we love thee. We're just going to give that a stir. It doesn't say, like, I'm just going to imagine we have to stir this. Because why wouldn't you stir in the lemon juice, honestly? It's a bit sticky at the bottom. I don't know if that's burnt sugar. I can't see. It's murkier than the Murray. Right. So that's that. Where were we? We were having a look at our dry ingredients. Jeez, let's get those out of there. And you probably know, never put your citrus in the compost because the worms do not like. No one likes a bit of acid like that. The cleanup. That's okay, back to our dries. So, we've got our gelatin powder ready. Corn flour and cream of tartar. Creme tartar. So, how much of this do we need? 1 teaspoon. Look at that. It's like a snowfield. Oh, you can't even see that. Can you see that? There we go. There's our snowfield. So, 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. And corn flour. Now, corn flour is quite a wonderful flour. It's very, so fine that it sticks together. Like, put your hand in it, it's like plaster. There we go. Go there. Use corn flour before. Really great for shortbread. I'm sure we'll have a shortbread segment close to Christmas. That seems to be a family tradition. A balloon looks scary. How much corn flour do we need? 1 cup. We already had a cup here. How wonderful. Nothing about sifting, so interested to see. Obviously, the balloon whisk is doing the sifting. We have half a cup of corn flour. Here I have so much corn flour here, it's not funny. You hacked. Where did our scissors go? Right. Let's finish getting this cup together. Okay, so it's just all over the shop. Probably in the Carolines now. Love me some corn flour. Oh, look at this. Super fine. This is where my food tech teacher would say, get your round top knife, kids. You know, I have wheels on. Maybe I freaking will. Round top knives, here we go. I'm not there. Thanks for the hot tip. Food tech. High school, circa 2005. All this good stuff. Good enough should be this cooking segment. It's good enough. Look at it. It's just stuck in there. It sticks to everything. It's like a lost dog. Just be with you. Stick with me. Stay with me forever. Oh. She couldn't care less if she was with me or not. She just wanted to be in the sun, in a bed. Ooh, we've got singing now. Cool beans. So, all of that's in there. Then they call for a balloon whisk. I mean, if they're talking about those big ones, I don't have one. So, any whisk will do. Any whisk is a good whisk. Let me just put all that together. It says, whisking a little of the remaining water to form hay. What? A little of the remaining water. A little of the remaining water. So you have to use a whole litre for this recipe. Whoa, what's going on there? Lemon is closest to the top. Now, whenever you put them on, well done, Adam. Use your measuring jug for the lemons and don't actually measure out anymore. Lucky we carry spares. So 1 litre total liquids to this. So 500 mils before, 500 mils now. And basically the recipe is saying use a little of this 500 mils. Like, a little? Could you just give me... I know before I said I don't use exact measurements, but come on, a little is like, I could use half of it. I could use a drop of it. Basically, I'm just going to use a bit of judgment and just say, oh, there it all goes. Whoop, we need more water. So we're making a paste, so really it's just add gradually, which I believe is the next step it says on that recipe there. It's blah blah blah, which are we up to? Whisk a little of the remaining water to form a paste, gradually whisking the remaining water. So yes, it's all about paste, and this whisk is shocking, isn't it? Ooh, forming clag. Ugh, smells awful. I mean, this is what gelatin does. It kind of just clumps everything together. Wow. I'm gonna break this whisk soon. Whoop! All goes flying. Well, we're certainly getting a paste here. If we can see right there. We're getting a paste to taste here. Oh, yeah. Let's plaster our ceilings. Never used plaster of Paris, but, you know, I assume it looks something like this. Anything that's really clumpy and smells like... I don't even know what it smells like. It smells like... off straw? No, not off straw. There we go. This is... oh, look. Hidden clumps. Let's get in there. Bring it all out. Make sure it's all mixed in. God, I hope this tastes good. I mean, when you're adding rosewater essence, any tastes good. It's pompery! I'll have pompery for dessert. Oh, it's all just stuck in the corners. It's ridiculous. It's just a bit of water in there. Yeah, I don't know what it smells like, but it smells very familiar. I mean, if you've got nothing better to do on your weekends, just go mix together some of these dry ingredients and you can tell me what it smells like. Dry ingredients in there, lovely. So then we just keep mixing it around. Make sure we've got a nice oh my goodness, there's flour going everywhere. We should consider investing in an apron. As long as I'm not throwing food dye around, I don't need to have a crazy ass shirt with different food colouring. Woo! There we go. That's the consistency of melting ice cream. Kind of looks like white chocolate mousse. Ooh, yum. Maybe we should make that one day. Chocolate mousse is really quick and easy to make. Like if we were streaming that, I think we'd need to do at least 3 simple desserts. The card's in there, I made it recently. But yeah, it's like 15-minute job. Put it all in the Wixstar, bing bang boom, into the fridge, and you got yourself some chocolate mousse. Quick and easy. Maybe that can be another segment. Desserts made easy. But who wants easy desserts? I mean, you watch all these cooking shows and they have to be complex as anything. And then there's a drama! Oh my god, something's on fire! Go to a commercial break and everything was fine in the end, so... Look at me, the cynic. Forever the commercial cynic. bubbling away. I don't know what actually bubbles. Which one of these things is more of a salt? It's probably the gelatin. Alright. Gradually just place over medium heat and cook, stirring for 3 to 5 minutes or until the mixture boils and thickens. Well, I mean, do we really want it to thicken any more than this? There we go. That's all the water. We're just making sure we've got... There we go. Now it's like milk. Goat's milk. What was I the other day? Was it a crazy supermarket and they had goat's milk in the fridge? And I thought, well, you're not going to see that at your local Coles, are you? Maybe we will one day soon. Anyway, I'm not doing Coles product buying or selling. We're not endorsed by Coles. Stop saying Coles. Alright, so that's all mixed in. 3 to 5 minutes, medium heat, or until thickened. Move aside. Right. Again, we might have to look for a bigger saucepan because we then have to add our syrup into the same saucepan and let cook for a whole hour! Let's clean up a bit. It's like dusting of fairies over here. Cool, bigger saucepan. Well, we could go on a massive scale, but we're going to try and fit it in there. I have a good feeling that it might just fit, but, you know, we're all about to find out. So, stirring for 3 to 5 minutes until mixture boils. Well, once it does boil, we'll be moving into the hour phase, and that's where this little beauty comes in handy, for we cannot let it get past 110 degrees, and that's the trick with this recipe. You can't let it go past, because then everything turns to toffee, and this whole hour will have been a waste of time, but not really, because this is too much fun talking to you people. So, you people, who am I? This sounds awful. Thank you for watching. Alright, so, but in the meantime, I feel like your candy thermometer needs some sort of candy-inspired music. So, candy is dandy, liquor is quicker, Willy Wonka, let's go. When you type in Turkish into Spotify, it's really interesting because you get Turkish pop, so maybe we can explore that another time. But here is our Willy Wonka. This was one of the only credits as a kid where I would happily just watch the entire start. You're just watching this chocolate fall over itself, and those little blobs of chocolate royals happening. So good. Now, this is boiling, we're going to give it a nice stir. Gelatin is forming its little packages. Alright, so it's starting to boil, I can feel the gelatin thickening below. Just keep stirring away. Why is it so high? It's medium heat. Oh, check the temperature. This is where the nice rolls of chocolates are velveting away. Ugh. It's like warm milk. No one likes warm milk. Do you like warm milk? I personally find it revolting. Something stopped? Something stopped! Just don't touch anything, it seems, and you'll be fine. Stir Every 3 to 5 minutes or until mixture boils and thickens. Well, it's certainly thickening, but is it boiling? Probably not. What strange with the kids in the background. I always wondered when they were filming this in a German village what all the actual residents thought. Like, do they know they're actually filming this? Where is this candy shop? What is it? This Candyman is essentially me. And you were born to be a Wonkerer. A Wonkerer? Really? Let's get out the dictionary. The Candyman. The Candyman can. The Candyman can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Alright, so we're almost there. Once that is, gradually pour the sugar syrup into the corn flour mixture, mixing constantly. If the mixture becomes lumpy, pour through a fine sieve into another saucepan. God, it's one of them. The Candyman! Right, so we're thickening up really nicely here. We're getting a couple of lumps from the gelatin, which is fine. We just have to whisk through. And it's definitely boiling now. So we're going to turn that down to low. And now we're going to pour our sugar syrup. So I'll bring this over. Let's not be alarmed by the little pieces at the top. That's just the lemon. But you can see that the mixture's gone quite clear. So all the sugar's dissolved, which makes it a wonderful sugar syrup, minus the lemon juice. So we're gradually pouring this into our mixture, whisking constantly. But if it gets to lumps, then we're gonna... Oops. Oh, hello, hello. Mix. Oh, wow. And Charlie looks in, looking savage. Interesting scent. Read a review recently. A 6-year-old was reviewing Willy Wonka for the first time, and they said that this was the scariest scene for them when the Tinkerer comes up and says, "Nobody ever goes in, nobody ever comes out," and just clang bangs away. I mean, as a kid, no one actually knows what the hell this man is, and then he's credited as the Tinkerer, and like, who knows what a Tinkerer? Oh, here he is. Ooh. For fear of little men. Someone just being discriminatory towards little people. Isn't that lovely? Nobody ever comes out. And tinker away. So right now the mixture just looks like milky froth. So whisking constantly, blah, blah, blah. Oh. I'm not the only one, but as a kid, the Cheer Up Charlie song I usually had to go fast forwarding, but it's actually a beautiful song. It's a great song. So our sugar thermometer goes in once we reduce heat to low. Making sure everything's dissolved and not lumpy. We're looking good at the moment though. It's just this funny cream layer at the top. But what lies beneath is a lovely kind of clearish liquid. body. Now, when does the rose water come in? Have I forgotten the rose water? Blah, blah, blah. Seriously, on this recipe, where is the rose water? Okay, so after an hour. After an hour. After an hour! So, we'll start the hour now. We'll see how it goes. Keep dancing. Oh, thanks, Jaxie. It was very long. It did need to be fast forward. Alright. So this is going well. I feel like the consistency is good, which means that we'll be putting this in to start measuring the 110, which means constant vigilance! Thank you, Professor Moody. Harry Potter book 4. Oh, this is great. I can't actually see the... Woo! Look at that. It's just... You can't even see what temperature it is. But I can tell you it is past 110, so let's just bring it down a bit. Which is going to be quite tricky, I'll tell you, because, you know, it doesn't actually go lower. So this is a new challenge. And with a new challenge, we need a new pot. Alright, time to upgrade. This is very unconventional. Good lord. So we'll keep that going. You can see my battle here. It's... Oh, look at that. Look, it's just this white covered mess. I can't even see what's happening. Alright. Oh god. Okay, we'll put that there. We haven't wasted anything yet. And this is why it's fun. Because we just... Everything's a nightmare. Oh, look at that. So we've got a bit of gelatin residue. So this means that we probably should be putting it through a sieve. Or whilst we've got it off the heat, let's do it. Let's put it through that sieve. Alright. That thermometer. Maybe I should invest in a digital one. Like, we're trying to be old school? Sure, but digital's probably a better way to go. Okay, sieve time. Ooh, really satisfying sound going on. Alright, so in the background, Charlie's about to find a golden ticket. Then we're going to get a little Grandpa George moment. Grandpa George is such a crook. I mean, he's just sitting in his bed and then he's up and at him. He goes, yeah, I can actually move around and dance. And you kind of think, wow, this family's been struggling. Charlie's trying to get you a loaf of bread and you could have moved all along? Like, what the hell, man? Okay, so good thing we did this. You can see there's quite a bit of gelatin in there. So we'll give this another quick mix and then we'll put it through there again. I'm very conscious about removing all the gelatin because if you do that, it might not set correctly and then we'll have tails of gelatin again. Alright, so this is good. This is good. Whoop. Oh, Slugworth. How great is Slugworth as a character? He just kind of shows up. Oh, here we go. Grandpa George. You bounder. You absolute bounder. Alright. Good. Good. Excellent. Let's wash this guy off. And then get you back on. Oh, we don't want that much water. Dry that off. Alright. Really? This clip. I didn't even have a balloon peg. Like, what am I supposed to do? We trust that it will sit there. That's what we're going to do. Alright. Back onto the heat. The magnet. Yes, 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 yes! Alright. Right, this is much too high. Look at the sun. Right, so it's currently at 125, which is not a good thing. So we're at a high chance of failure now. So, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but probability is probably beyond 50% that this is going to completely mess up. So, you know, let's all pray to the kitchen gods now that we can make this work. Alright, reduce heat to low. Place the sugar thermometer in the saucepan. Simmer, stirring occasionally to prevent the mixture sticking to the base of the pan. Yeah, we're doing that, great. For 1 hour until the mixture is light golden and sugar thermometer reaches 110. Why is she saying this? Like, why does it have to simmer and reach 110? It's already past 110. I was warned that this is going to be a very complex recipe, but, you know, I just kind of did it anyway. So, we'll leave the saucepan just off for a bit to let it cool. Bring it down. Just trying to think, I don't have any other burners there, but we can just let it simmer in itself. Good morning indeed. So anyway, we're going to stick to our original item, which was, let's stop it at 1:30? Yes, 1:30 was when we said it would happen. So it's still kind of cooking as it's on the stove, because it's next to its plate, which was on. So it's going to stay around that 120. The mixture looks good though, so I mean that's a positive, right? Right? Oh god. Alright, so we're going to let that go for a little bit. We'll keep giving it a stir, and then we can actually finally get to the best part, which is the rose water. Now, if you've ever made pommery, we'll just smelt a rose. You know that it's actually, oh jeez, that is strong. But it smells like Turkish Delight, which is great! We love Turkish Delight, that's why we're making this. Alright. So now I'm wondering, it's like the syrup is hot, but is it actually that hot? Have I broken the thermometer? Do you know what I've just realized? I've been reading the wrong side of the thermometer. Yay! Kitchen nightmares! I'm reading Fahrenheit instead of the Celsius. Jeez. What a knob. God, I'm such an idiot. Alright, well that's good. We're back on track. And now we'll just listen and calm to a pure imagination. Let's go. Seriously, Fahrenheit? Why was I reading Fahrenheit? I think on the thermometer it's black and red, and the red's kind of concealed by the yellow light that's going on. I just think, well, look, it's fine. It's at 100 degrees. Idiot! Which means the other thing wasn't at 100 degrees. This is going to be great. It's going to fail terribly. Love it! Would have been good if I discovered this whilst the other syrup was going. So, I mean, let's have a look at how far off we were. It was at 125, which means it was at 50 degrees Celsius, so it never actually boiled, which could be terrible. So if we go back a couple of steps, cook without stirring, brush the stove occasionally with a pastry pan. Ooh, yeah. I don't think we cooked the sugar long enough. We did dissolve it, but did it cook long enough? I don't think so. So, should we start again? Let's just keep going, this is fun. This means I'll probably just buy some Turkish Delight for this dinner party that we're supposed to be going to. If I know, compared to pure imagination. Whoa, okay. So, how are we going with this syrup? We're going to keep it on low. I mean, the point is to get it to 125 degrees, right? That's what the recipe's saying. So, let it go. Give it an occasional stir without knocking that thermometer. Look, to be honest, I don't think it's going to be a complete write-off. It seems to be working quite well. Again, oh, there goes the thermometer. Again, our only problem seems to be that white residue layer that's on top. But, you know, with a good couple of stirs and actually reaching that boiling temperature, I reckon we'll be alright. It's getting harder and harder to view. It's just like turning upside down. Do it. Okay, temperature is going up, which is good. We are now at 60 degrees. Keep going. We'll get there in the end, which will be great. Ah, thank you, Jaxie. I'm excited as well. I mean, I'm more excited just to be adding the rose water, but, you know, I just like things that smell good. We also get to add rose pink coloring, so it's all about the rose today. The rose among the thorns, and the thorns could be failure. But failure is great! We learn so much from failure, and I think the biggest failure here was me just not reading things correctly, so maybe I should take some time to do a bit more reading. Maybe? I don't know. This is fun, right? This is fun, just watching failure. So the other gelatin recipe that we were talking about was, I'll be quiet when the Oompa song comes on, don't worry, which is now. So we'll probably just, I love that part. Happy accidents. So true. Alright, I always dance when the Oompa Loompa song comes on. This is the best one as well. When you guzzle down sweets, eating as much as an elephant eats. Will come of that. Love it. Ah, do you know what's really funny? Just, you watch this, slow it down a little bit, and look at the actors. Look at the Oompa Loompas, and you can just see this pain in their eyes and going, why are we doing this? What the hell is this? Oompa-dee-doo. So, is it? Yes. There we go. So, the other gelatin mistake. So we've talked about cream. Try to use it in custard. You're better off just doing that with your milks and your eggs. It seems to be a better consistency than gelatin. But I actually made this gin and lime tart, and I couldn't find gin berries, so which is what you need to make gin and give it that ginny flavour. But what happened was, I thought I was being clever and just thought, let's just use gin! Let's put all the gin in here! And so I just tried to accommodate with gelatin, and in the end it looked like custard, which was great. But then we poured it into a pastry tart, and from there it kind of semi-set in the refrigerator, and we cut into it and it just burst. It just went all over everyone's plates. And then people that were tasting it, you just saw this kind of happy look on their face and then them gagging because the gin hadn't dissolved properly into this tart case. So they're just kind of going, oh, and just saying, this is so nice, and then just putting it to the side. So yeah, Gelatin and I, we're not the greatest team, but you know, over the course of these videos, that might change. I don't think it's going to change with this one here. I kind of feel like the gelatin might be another failure because we haven't cooked it properly. But hey, it's just another story in the line of superbakeboy's failures with gelatin. So let's have a look what temperature we're at. This is the perfect song to go with this thermometer because it's slowly bumping up. And my level of tension as this rises and I'm not seeing any bubbles, it's kind of matching the song. So you can like listen to it and I can hear my heart just beating going, oh my god, is it gonna work? And it might not, but that's cool. It's all good. Let's give it a stir. Turn off the thermometer. Woo! A cream layer still exists. This TV is going, wow, I'm gonna be sick. Chicken head's being chopped off. Jingwon is just looking like a champ at the beginning of the boat. I've never actually listened to this outside of the movie. It sounds like someone's being murdered. It's terrible. Oh, Jingwon, you are the greatest. Missing him. Going. Blowing, is it raining, is it pouring? Ooh, tension building, but the thermometer keeps going up, which is really exciting. I'm just opening our rose stuff. So, we still have a good 40 minutes until that syrup gets up to the right temperature. But at least we know it's going up, and you know, we should be hitting that 110 about the same time as we're supposed to be finishing. So stop the boat! And there we go. Oh, such an epic movie. So good. I do remember one night, I think this was post-high school, we decided it would be a good idea to watch Willy Wonka and get through an entire bottle of Cougar. Like, I'm not sure in the rest of the world if you've got Cougar, but essentially it's just a whiskey. There was some really weird advertisements to it, but yeah, mate just decided that we'd all start leaping around the room when I Got It On ticket came on. So that was a strange night. But Willy Wonka is good for all occasions. All occasions. Every single occasion. Alcohol or not. It is a good movie. And it will be a good movie to go with Turkish Delight? Probably not. Probably not. So just excuse me whilst I put away the sugar so we don't get ants. Going into spring, the ants are coming out of their hidey holes. They'll find any crumbs that are around. I mean, I plugged up this kitchen. Everything is sealed, and still they get in. Ants, what are you? Ooh, what was that? Alright. So we've emptied the sugar. We can get that out of here. We can get rid of the ants. How do you trap an ant? Like, there's so many different things out there. You can use those little droplets that they're kind of supposed to eat and then they kind of go to sleep. Or you can, I don't know, just keep a clean kitchen. I kind of feel like my kitchen is clean, but ants are everywhere. Alright, 75 degrees and going good. Another stir. Alright, so it's still got that creamy layer. Again, I feel like that will disappear once it hits the boil. And we're starting to smell it now, so we know that, that things are heating up inside there. Alright, keep on climbing. 75 degrees, so what's that? We have about 40 degrees to go. And how much longer? Half an hour? Yeah, so we're just slowly getting up there, which is good news. Excellent news. And then we can put it in our tray, and it sets for 4 whole hours. So I'm not going to stay on here and stir for 4 hours because I'm sure you've all got better things to do than watch me do dishes. It's not the most exciting way to spend your Saturday or Friday night, depending on where you are in the world. You might be ahead of time if you're in New Zealand. Yes, that would make sense. Anyway, before we left over some lemon juice, and if I've got some soda water, I'm going to make a lemon and soda. Minus the vodka. No one needs to see Superbakeboy drunk on a Saturday. We might just mix it with some water. I don't know, we could also add a tea segment to this. We've got a huge collection of tea in the back room there, so we can pair a couple of different teas to the dessert we're making. I'm not going to do a booze review. I think there's other shows that cater to that side of cooking. In Canada, what time is it in Canada? Is it Friday night or is it Saturday? This is really good. I need to make another one of these. And there we go. Friday, 8:55 p.m. Yeah, just chilling with some Twitch. Good way to spend a Friday evening. Oh, perfect song. Perfect song to go with this. Yeah. So I'm just tripping out. I'm just having a good time. I feel like this recipe might work out, but if it doesn't, I've just got this nice big batch of sugar syrup and I can just put it on things, I suppose, like ice cream and in drinks, and maybe just spike someone's drink with sugar. Maybe don't do that to diabetics. It's not the most fun surprise when they go into a hypo because you thought you'd have some fun with sugar syrup. Oh gosh. Alright, so let's get rid of the little ant traps that we've got lying around here. Ooh, look at that. They seem to have gotten all this cooking syrup everywhere. Again, there's feed the ants! No, don't feed the ants! I'll wake up tomorrow morning and there's just going to be this ant nest sitting on my bench, and then I'll be like, I just wanted to make some cereal, and now there's ants in my cereal, and they'll disguise themselves in my Cocoa Pops. Yes, I still eat Cocoa Pops because it's Sunday, and I'm allowed my damn Cocoa Pops. There we go. Charlie's burping, and I'm cleaning up after the ants. The last thing I need is ants. Although I'll tell you this, I would have ants over cockroaches. Cockroaches give me the heebie-jeebies, and I really don't like dealing with them. And I've seen a couple of them, like those little baby ones, and they've been crawling up the walls. Like, it sounds like I live in just some sort of horrible, like, insect-infested area. And, you know, being out sort of outside the city, yes, we do have a lot more creatures crawling about, but yeah, I'm seeing more and more different cockroaches. So we've got these little baby ones crawling walls, and then yesterday when I took the compost out, I found this massive one like that, and you're just going, hey, I'm just chilling in your compost. And I'm thinking, whoa, I'd rather see a rat in here, because rats are cool, right? Oh, this is my favorite song. I think as a kid, I identified with her, which is terrible. It's really bad. I must have just been going through a selfish stage. No roaches here in Canada, really? No roaches at all. You are very lucky. No rats either, my god. I don't mind rats. I mean, doing science at uni, we kind of had to deal with rats, and rats are really clean, and they're kind of cool. You just have to treat them gently. But yeah, wild rats are a little bit of a different thing. Alberta! Yeah! Love Alberta. I really need to visit. The party with roomfuls of laughter, 10,000 pounds of ice cream, and if I don't get the things I am after, I'm going to scream. And this is why I really liked her, because she just lose her top over nothing. It's great. Pretty awesome. Alberta. So you'll be going into fall now. I'm guessing that you get plenty of snow in winter, or you're not far enough north? I want it now. I'm going to start a new drink sign. We'll do different fruits. I don't have a juicer though, so that's going to be tricky. Alright, so we are up to, what are we up to? 85. We are up to 85 degrees. We are slowly making our way there. Still have this funny creamy mess. Cat. Who to blame? The mother and the father. Do. Alright, so stirring it brings down the heat. So let's not over stir it. What's a Chinook? A Chinook? Now I'm going to have to look up what a Chinook is. Interesting. You get Chinooks. Chinook! A Chinook. You get helicopters? Like, is that what we're getting? What's a Chinook? Please explain. Oh, okay. It's like, cool, you get helicopters, why not? Melts all the snow in a day. Yeah. Yeah, I've had snow once here, and that was out in the countryside. Oh god. So, yeah, it would be cool if it did snow out here. The most we get is just sort of big hailstorms, but, you know, I don't think we're equipped for snow. Everyone would kind of freak out and lose their minds. So we're more about the heat and giving kids a day off school if it's above 45 degrees rather than if it's below 10 degrees. But I had a mate living in Canada, and he said that, yeah, he walked from a coffee shop to the store that he was working in next door with a hot coffee, and when he got in, the coffee was frozen. So, yeah, but I can't remember where that was. That might have been Banff? I feel like it was Banff. You get no. All right, we are at 90 degrees, which means we're approaching boiling point. So we'll be interested to see what happens when it's all bubbly. I'm gonna have to re-strain this, I reckon. Negative 45 degrees. Oh my god. Do you just hibernate? I don't think I could leave the house. I don't know what I'd do. I don't have enough clothes. Like, I could layer up 10 times and never feel warm at minus 45. I guess I'm just used to heat and not cold weather. Like, -1 was enough for me. It was enough. Please don't give me more than that. He has a problem cooling up. So I went to a country retreat a couple of weeks ago, and the water pipes had frozen. So yeah, do you have a problem with the pipes as well? I can't believe that, like, if a heater can't keep up, how can you actually heat water unless everything is underground? It's challenging. I'm glad I'm not an engineer. That would just do my head in. Right, so we're nearing the hour where we can add the rose water, which is really exciting. So at least we'll have a nice smelling sugar syrup. No problem with the water pipes. Well, lucky. I lived out in the country last year, and yeah, there was a morning where I think it was below 0 degrees, and I couldn't actually have a shower because all the pipes had frozen. So, and then the other retreat, it actually burst the pipe, so I got sprayed with freezing water. So I had a shower, I guess, but it was outside in the cold. Not the best place. So obviously things are built a little bit differently over in Alberta. Maybe we should take some lessons in our colder climates. Where am I? I'm down in Victoria in Australia. So one of the country retreat was north from there, up in regional Victoria, and then when I was living sort of in a regional town, or regional metropolitan, it was out in the west in Ballarat. So that's where I had that freezing day and experienced snow in town for a day, and there was someone just sort of dancing out there as it's sleeting down going, it's snowing, and it was just rain and sleet. And I'm just thinking, why are you doing this? You can't dry off. You're out in the street and you clearly look like a tourist, and now you're going to freeze to death. But that's just clinical superbakeboy talking. Alright, so this playlist is coming to an end. We need more candy. I need more candy. Maybe we can go to Turkish pop. That could be fun. Let's discover what Turkish pop is of 2017. But we'll give Willy Wonka the last 6 seconds that it needs. And close. Here we go. Turkish pop coming at you. It's got a bit of that folk going on. Yep. So there might be some singing. Oh, it's like hip hop. I like it. Maybe not that loud. I don't like it that loud. The big spiders. Yeah, I was at the zoo last weekend and it was telling us all about the different spiders and snakes that we've got, but you don't actually see them. You're not going to see any spiders in Australia. You'll just see a couple of daddy long legs, which are, you know, they're cool. And if you're really scared, they squish in an instant because there's nothing to them. It's just like these little spindly things. And your huntsmen are really good. Huntsmen will eat your mosquitoes and they're quite a friendly spider. I made the mistake of letting one live though in my bedroom, and I went away for a weekend and came back and then my ceiling was crawling with little baby spiders. So yeah, maybe don't let them live in the house. Take the spiders outside because you don't want to come home and have a room full of spiders. It was literally something out of my worst nightmare. And I had to go around with a feather duster and be like, woo, clean up all the spiders. And then we threw out the duster, obviously, because it was full of spiders. Yeah, don't let a huntsman live in your air ducts. They will have children and fill your dreams with nightmares. 95 degrees, yeah! And we got the Turkish music, like we're getting back into the turkey feel. I don't know what they're saying, but I don't mind this. Okay, so the mixture's starting to bubble, which is good. Still got this milky layer, but I reckon we can strain that. Looking good. It's starting to thicken. I've got a little bit of stuff sticking to the sides, so we're going all right. Alright, so we're definitely going to strain that because I don't know what the milky substance is. What have we learned from this recipe? There is not much explanation. So, yeah, probably would not do again, but let's wait until we get to the end because it might taste delicious even if it is just in a syrupy goop. It'll be, alright, add more gelatin? Add more gelatin? I don't know, gelatin and I, you've heard the story, let's not do it. So who's this? Meliska Kabir. It's pretty good. Maybe I need to go to more Turkish parties. I like this. They can send me baklava. I do love a good lot of baklava. What else is Turkish? I don't think I've had much Turkish cuisine. I think it's more about meat. I went to a meat place called Ali Kapur, and it was just like lots of really rich stuff and like cooked tomatoes. It's really good. So yeah, more Turkish cuisine. 2018, the year of turkey, including turkey for Christmas. Yes. Alright, so you can probably tell now that if pop comes on, I'm more likely to jump around. So, I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm probably making everyone feel sick by going like... But, pop. I'm so trashy. I love it. Alright, so still sitting at that 95. I think the low heat is working though. How are we doing for time? We've got about just under 20 minutes for it to get to the cooking stage. So, I'm happy. I'm happy with where this is going. So once that actually comes to 110 degrees, we add the rose water and the food coloring, stir until it's all combined, and then pour mixture into the pan. But I reckon we're going to need a finer sieve to get rid of that really white, foamy stuff. Better than that? Yeah, it's a bit finer. So we'll do that. Should be enough room in that tin. These are going to be really thick pieces. It will be a little bit strange, but again, this is if it sets. Like we need it to set first. All right, keep on going. So I'm thinking for next week we might do banana banana bread because I have a lot of bananas. You can probably see in the background here. Bananas. So as long as no one eats all of my bananas, we'll do that. And we'll have a whole banana-inspired playlist, which will be fantastic. Personally, is this your first video? It is, yeah. You can tell, can't you? Because it's all just really quite strange and out of place. But I'm really having fun here, so thank you again for being part of this first video. And yeah, join me midday on a Friday. Middays, Saturdays, every week from now on until I have to get booted off the system for doing something terrible, which hopefully won't happen. Who knows? It's fun, it's live entertainment, everything's crazy. I do have no info, yeah, I'm very much a beginner. So this is, you know, I can say the quality might increase over time, but, you know, let's not set that standard. Ah, thank you, yeah, I try to make it entertaining. Like, what's the point of wasting an hour of your time if I'm just going to stand here and just stir things like a crazy person? Who's this? I can't even say her name. I can say Canada. It sounds like a dessert. Deria Uluk. I don't know what that thing over the G is. I think I'm going to need a translator every episode. Right, so we're talking about how this is going to work from now on, aren't we? So this is the first stream, but from now on, we're going to have a look at getting some guests in as well. I have someone who's really great at making fudge. They actually have a fudge business. So she'll be coming in to give us a fudge lesson. Phrasing? I'll think of a better term for that one. But yes, so we'll have a couple of other guests coming in. They'll get to choose some of the music that they want to sing and dance to whilst we're doing some cooking. It's just, yeah, I need to hopefully get that royalty certificate through soon. But yeah, we're going to have guests coming in to cook with us. We'll be doing different baking every week. This level of mania is probably going to stay. Like, you can't kind of get this out of me. So if you like crazy cooking, you're in the right place. All right, we've broken 100 degrees Celsius. So we are 10 degrees off and we're going well for time. Like, not your time. So obviously you can choose when you want to jump off this thing. But cooking time, we're kind of right on point with this recipe. So at least we got one thing right. All right, as we approach that 100 degrees, it's actually thickening up. So we're looking good. It doesn't smell good, but you know, I think flour and sugar don't actually smell good by themselves anyway. We're more about eating rather than smelling here. Oh, I see different colors. Crazy cooking, yes. Well, I can guarantee you there's going to be lots of crazy things. In the magical book that we spoke about earlier, the Hot Flamingo, there's actually a recipe called the Fandango. So, you know, that's going to be crazy in itself because I don't even know what that is. In the picture, there was a lot of cream and like mangoes piled on top. So I'm thinking it's something from the 60s where everyone was just like, ooh, let's do crazy names. And everyone loves a good dessert. Fandango. Yes, we're going to give the Fandango a go. We'll have Queen going, obviously. Can you do the Fandango? Da, da, da. All right, so what are our thoughts on Turkish pop? Would you do it again? Would you listen to it in your spare time? I mean, as I said, I'd probably do it at a Turkish party. I'm dancing now, so why wouldn't you do it at a party? That was good. I like the ukalava, I can't say her name, but that was fun. I'm not sure if you can hear it on the speakers, but I think my laptop is slowly dying. I can just hear it going in the background. So we might have to invest in another computer. But until it breaks or I pour syrup on it, we're going to keep going strong. Who is this? Sagopa Kajmer. Good? It's all about experiencing the music, so we'll get through it. It's different. It's different. All right, 100 degrees. Keep it going. Keep this going. How much of these things do we need? Red food coloring. Thank you, recipe. Add a few drops. Well, that's going to be hard when I don't have a pipette. Note to self, get a pipette. And how much of this rose water? 2 teaspoons. Finally, something with measurements. Oh, it's getting thick! It's getting thick! Yes! Alright. I'm getting excited. We may pull this off. We may be able to eat the Turkish Delight. Like, let's not get our hopes up, but, you know, probability still sitting about 50%, so it's not like 80% failure rate. Yeah, Turkish Delight. Getting a sweet sugary smell in. This is good. This is good. Liking it. I don't do much hip hop. Like, I'm getting into it. R&B Fridays is good. Like, I mean, it's R&B time in Canada, so maybe we could do some R&B. Usually, I don't know what it's like overseas, but over here, our radio stations are kind of obsessed with just classing every day for something. So Fridays is R&B Fridays on every radio station. No one has a creative idea anymore. R&B time. Shall we do some R&B? I wonder if there's Turkish R&B. Let's find out. R&B. The best of Turkish rap and R&B, Volume 1. Hell, I'll try anything. I'll try anything once. Oh, she... Oh my god, this is so good. They're saying they're from Germany. This is weird. I love it. Announcement. Baybars. Oh! Come on, play me some music. I don't want to hear your auto-tune voice. Yeah? Yeah. $102. Whoa, lost it. Oh. There we go. Alright, almost at 105, which is good, which means we need to start preparing the pan. We'll set these over here. No, we won't. We'll do it all here. You haven't been able to see what the syrup looks like. You need to experience what this looks like. You need to know what it looks like in case it is a failure, so you know what to avoid in the future. Yes. Turkish R&B, who would have thought? Mixture is a light golden brown and sugar reaches 110. I don't know, like, I don't know if it's a light golden brown. I'm still just seeing that creamy color, but what are we going for time? I think we said 37, so we're going well. Let's do 5 more degrees, and hopefully we're a bit more of a golden brown then, but, you know, whatever. We're this far in. Bubbles forming, syrup yellow. Jaxie, until next time, thank you very much for joining. There'll be photos of the success or failure on Instagram and Facebook tomorrow, so you can check out if it did work out. Otherwise, I hope to see you in the future. Thanks again. Ooh, heavy stuff. Good stuff. Crack? Sure. Why not? Alright, so still 5 degrees off. We're just slowly getting there, but you know, slow heat. Still got 10 minutes until we're supposed to take it off, so it looks like we're going to get that through. And then I guess I'll just find out what's the time now? About 5:30, 6 o'clock if this was a failure. I'll do a bit of a taste testing, gonna dust it with some icing sugar. Yeah, so at the end of the recipe, once it's all set and if it's all fine and dandy, then you actually get to dust it with sugar and present it really nicely on a plate, and everyone's like, oh my god, you made Turkish Delight, that's great. But, you know, chances are it won't be that, but it's still gonna taste really good. Like, how could sugar go wrong? How could sugar go wrong? Yep, isn't it again? Right, where are we? Worst thermometer ever! You were at 100 before! What are you doing? I don't think that thermometer is working correctly, to be honest, because we've gone from 105 down to 90, and I don't think a stir just does that. So, you know, choose better next time. Pick better thermometers. temperature's gone around 110. Yeah, okay, so we're doing that. Just turned it up slightly. We're just going to do a little bit of a test to see if it's actually working. Like at 100 degrees you'd think that we'd get a bubble or something because it's at boiling temperature, but not happening. So I'm starting to think that the thermometer might not have been correct. So perhaps this project was doomed to fail from the beginning. But who knows? It's all fate. It's up to fate now. Alright, thermometer says we are reaching 100, so we'll skip that temperature now because it's almost at the hour point. I think from memory we put it on at 12:37? Maybe it was 47. Anyway, we're going with like 1:37 is when we're taking it off. This is getting really loud. Still really loud. I feel like I've lost control of everything. The volume, my life, everything is a lie. Makale. Sitting at 100. Can sugar go beyond 100? Yes, it can. Will it? Maybe not. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'd really like to know what some of these hip-hop artists are saying. Like, is it the same as some of English R&B? Do they all have the same issues? We need to find out. More research is needed. Why won't you go up? Ah! Lost it. She's afloat. There we go. Don't stir too hard, it's the lesson. I gotta say, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. Come on, show me the money. Show me a bubble. Like, I just want to see that one little, just one little pop. I mean, you were popping before when you were just sizzling sugar, so why aren't you popping on the stove when you're clearly at 105 degrees? 105! You're boiling! Maybe it's an old analogy, a watched pot never boils. So after you finish watching this, or whilst you're watching me do this, I recommend checking out Auntie Donna's tea party video, which has a little fun pun about a watched pot never boiling. An old wives' tale that you shouldn't watch things because it's faster just to leave the room. I'm not sure how good that would have worked out. Like, is that a really good lesson to be teaching when you were boiling things on the stove? So it's like, I'm boiling some water, I'm gonna walk away for an hour whilst I let this boil dry and set my house on fire! Old wives' tales. Like, I don't know, different times. Different times. Alright, so when we're looking really closely, you can see little bubbles, so it is boiling. It's just really slow and quiet. But it's getting there. Ooh, it's smelling sugary. It's at 106. We're so close. And taste it. Hello. That white stuff is like fairy floss on the side of the pot. We are so close. It's at 108. Yeah! Yeah! So if you've been on here from the beginning, you can see that my mania is kind of gone from So yeah, expect this every week. Come back and join. Alright, so that white layer disappeared, so we just had to get above that level, and we're getting to that golden brown color that the recipe describes. So as much as I've slagged on this recipe, it does kind of good at describing. It's just, my problem is with the measurements, like it doesn't really give me that much away. So it's been good, but it could have been better, and I'm not even going to try writing a recipe, so they've already done better than me. So thank you recipe. Damn, we're so close. So close. It's one of those things. You know, maybe we're going to hit it right on 1:37. So I don't think you can see a clock on here. I might install a clock. We might need to do that in the future podcast or whatever we're doing. Twitchcast. I don't know what we're doing anymore. I'm going insane. But anyway, we're almost on time to when I said we'd start. So 5 more minutes, I'm hoping that we hit that 110 degrees, which means we can add all the flavoring and coloring, which is really the fun part and why you've hung around, right? And then we put it into a tray and let it set for 4 hours and hope to God it works out. So I think I'm slowly conditioning my neighbours, so I can feel the bass from this R&B now, and they're now going to fear 12 p.m. every Saturday because they know that there's going to be lots of music going on in the background for some reason, God knows why. Maybe they'll just leave town and be like, I can't stand living next to superbakeboy, we can't be near him at 12 p.m. on a Saturday. What is that man doing? And then I'll get knocks on the door and then we'll greet them with lovely treats and say, this is what I've been doing, please don't arrest me. close. We're not going to hit that 137 mark. We're still just ticking away, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I don't think it's going to be too much longer, to be honest. I think it should only be another 5 minutes. So stick around, and then we get to add the colouring, the flavouring, and strain it. I need to make room in the fridge. Oh, there is a lot of things in here. I don't know where to put all the things. Right. I think I've made enough room in the fridge. I can't be sure, but we'll soon know if there's enough room in the fridge. Otherwise, looks like someone ain't eating normal food tonight. Stay down, Missy. Ooh, now I can't see a thing. Alright, I'm quickly losing faith with that thermometer again because it's just stopped. So I don't know if it's the goop or if I need to turn up the heat. I've turned up the heat. Like, trust me, I've turned up the heat. But yeah, I don't know what's happening. So bear with me and we'll see if we can get this off the stove in the next 5 minutes. It's so close. Oh God. It's at 105 and it won't move. That's 108. We're getting there. 109. I should back away, like, let's not burn my face in the stove. Maybe stop stirring it. Maybe a good idea. Yeah, I probably should. But we're 1 degree off. So I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to take that advice. I'm going to get off that stove. I'm going to color it. I'm going to put it in a container. And we're going to go offline. But yeah, you get it. We're passionate. Oh. 109, come on! Come on, one more degree. Damn it! Alright, a watched pot never boils. Just remember that. We walk away, breathe, listen to Sultana. Sultana? Cool. It will get to 110. And it will be good. We're getting there. Oh, it's on the cusp. The cusp, everyone! Right, I'm actually getting really excited. I don't know why. It's just 1 degree. It's just syrup. For goodness sake! It's syrup! Why am I excited? Swear it's this. Anything red, you'd think I was 6 years old. With red food colour, I'm just getting hyperactive. Or rose pink, but you get, you know, it's the same stuff. It's some form of red. Right, so close. It's just like sitting on the edge of it. And I'm not going to take it off until it hits 110, because the recipe has said that, and god damn it, I want to do it now. Someone's at the door. Sorry, just losing my cool. Where am I staying? Almost there. Alright, let's get everything ready. So a couple of drops of this, 2 teaspoons of rose water. I want to add more. But how much more? How much more? Hot damn! And like magic, the texture has changed. So, let's have a look. Look at that syrupy goodness. The white that I was talking about, it was like a milk layer. I'm sorry we didn't get to show you, but look at this. It's nice and syrupy. It's basically I wouldn't say it's brown, but it's definitely a golden color. So now that it's like this, we get to add the food coloring and our rose water. It's all going to be worth it just for the rose water, let me tell you. It's like spring. You wouldn't believe it's spring here. Like, you can see some flowers, but it's damn cold. Not minus 45 degrees, but you know, cold for Australian standards. Whoa. A little bit extra red, who cares? Woo! 2 teaspoons of rose water. Let's smell that gorgeous aroma. Yeah, 2 teaspoons is definitely enough. Like, any more than that and we'd be drinking bouquets. Alright. So, I'll try and get this a little bit closer to the camera so we can watch the magic of food colouring. Isn't this fun? Here we go. Woo! So this is a few drops, but it's really not going to work out like that. Again, I don't have a pipette. Whoa! I guess it depends on... Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Just going to the sides. Look at that. Yay, side pink. I don't know, how far do we go? What pink is acceptable? Ooh, it's getting a bit funny on the bottom. It's starting to set. My god, we have to get into a thing quickly. I'm quite good with this colour. Like, I think it's a nice rose. I mean, we could go with 1 more drop, but let's just keep mixing it for a little bit. I know, don't overstir it. I know. Yes! The red fiery hell! Or the rosy hell. Oh, let's just go a bit more. Yee! Alrighty then. So we're gonna go very pink. Like the folder, like it's all circles. Flamingo folder, flamingo, whatever I'm making here, Turkish Delight, or locom. Locom is how it's traditionally said, something like that. Forgive my accent. Look at this pink. Wow. It's like we're in Flamingo land. I'm sorry about the camera, you can't actually see how pink this is, but you know, it's basically the same colour as that folder there right now. And I am happy with this. I'd say we strain it, just for good luck, and put it into its magical vessel and store it for 4 hours. And then, you know, fingers crossed we can add some icing sugar and the experiment will have paid off. Alright, so it's going to be tricky. I need another board. Blue boards. All about colours here. Right. So, consistency. Ace. Throw this in there. Get ourselves a strainer. Get everything out of the way. This is gonna get messy. Here we go. Well, let's double check this. Like, let's not have. And let's pour the mixture into the prepare pan. Set aside to cool to room temperature. Well, like we read this, we don't want to set the fridge on fire. And place in the fridge for 4 hours or overnight until firm. Well, we'll probably be overnight. Let's just be honest. Whoa! Oh, this is thick. But look at that. You can see just in the bottom camera, it's just kind of slurping down. Oh, it's just, look at it, it's just sitting there. Look at that, just kind of slowly going through, sitting in the base there. Well, it's definitely a consistency, let's say that. Strain it a bit. Where did my magical whisk go? Alright, so we'll just show how to do this so you can see it. Awkward camera angles. Here we go, so we're just sort of stirring it through, getting all that nice good stuff in there, making sure that we don't have bits of gelatin kind of just sitting around and making people's taste buds go, oh, it's quite salty, you don't want to eat it if you don't have to. And we're basically through, and like I said, we don't want too much gelatin getting in. Well, you know, we do to make it set, but not so much. So what we're left with is just a bit of a lumpy layer in there, so we'll bring it over there. A couple of crumbs. Throw this to the side. And here we have, oh god, that's hot. Don't use metal tins if you can avoid it. A big batch of pink goo. So, room temperature, into the fridge for 4 hours. We can see if it sets. Ooh, that's not good there. They're going to come out funny because of those side bits there, but whatever, it's jelly. And then we can dust with icing sugar if it's all set. So that's that. Turkish Delight. I'm sorry that we can't see the finished product, but as I said a little bit earlier, we're going to have a couple of photos up on the Facebook and Twitter accounts so that you can see how it turned out. I'll be able to give you an update next week, of course. But that was the first episode of Bake and Beat, so thank you so much for being a part of it. Hope you've enjoyed this crazy kind of music. Thank you again for putting up with my mania, and I will see you next week at 12 PM on Saturday, or whatever time it is in your world, 8:55 over in Alberta, Canada. Thank you again for being part of this audience, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, keep on baking.